I am the Gridiron Ghost, the voice that lingers in the empty bleachers long after the final whistle fades. I've seen the heroes rise, the rivalries ignite, and the traditions that make college football eternal. This is Campus Chronicles, beyond the game, where history breathes, legends speak, and the echoes never fade. Today, we travel to Columbus, Ohio, a place where the roar of 100,000 fans sounds less like noise and more like devotion. This is the Horseshoe, Ohio State's cathedral of football. They called it a miracle when it opened in 1922. Built in just over a year, with a design ahead of its time, an open horseshoe of concrete rising from the banks of the Olentangy River. When the gates opened, 66,000 people walked into a structure that felt less like a stadium and more like a cathedral. And in a way, that's exactly what it was. Architect Howard Dwight Smith designed the horseshoe with Roman arches, columns, and symmetry meant to inspire awe. It wasn't just a place to watch football, it was a monument to the American Midwest, built with the hands of its people and the pride of its state. Ohio Stadium cost $1.3 million to build, and critics said it was too big, too ambitious. But when the Buckeyes beat Michigan that first season, no one doubted it again. Before the stadium, there was the song. In 1919, the Ohio State University Marching Band debuted across the field, a march that still ignites the crowd today. But it's the second anthem, written in 1933, that defines the program. Buckeye Battle Cry. When the band plays those first few notes and the fans chant O-H-I-O, the horseshoe feels alive. The chant, by the way, wasn't invented by the university. It came from alumni at a 1940s basketball game, spreading from the bleachers until it became gospel. And every fan knows the rule. When one side yells "Oh-ha," the other answers "I-O." It's not call and response, it's communion. No tradition in college football is more recognizable than the script Ohio. Born in 1936, it was designed by band director Eugene Weigel, inspired by the typography of the New York Times masthead. The marching band spells out the word Ohio in flowing cursive across the field. But the magic moment comes at the end, when a single Suasome player steps forward to dot the I. It's not random, it's a sacred honor, reserved for fourth or fifth year band members who have earned it through excellence and loyalty. Even Woody Hayes once said, "You can win a national championship, but you'll never forget dotting the I." There have been exceptions. Famous guests like Bob Hope, Jack Nicklaus, and John Glenn have dotted the I, but never without the permission of the band, a reminder that tradition, not celebrity, rules the horseshoe. No mention of Ohio State is complete without the rivalry, the game. Ohio State versus Michigan, the clash that defines the Midwest. It began in 1897, but it became war in the 1970s, when Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler, once mentor and student, faced off year after year. 10-year war, they called it. 10 seasons, 10 battles. Each game felt like a referendum on the soul of college football. In 1969, Schembechler's Michigan upset the top-ranked Buckeyes, ending a 22-game win streak. Hayes was furious, not at his players, but at fate. The rivalry consumed him and defined him. When Hayes was fired in 1978 for striking a Clemson player during the Gator Bowl, many thought it would tarnish his legacy. But in Ohio, redemption is part of the playbook. Today, his statue stands outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, not to erase the past, but to remember the fire that built a dynasty. When Urban Meyer took over in 2012, he resurrected that fire, and in 2014, delivered an improbable national title with a third-string quarterback, Cardale Jones. That team, led by Ezekiel Elliott and Joey Bosa, became the embodiment of resilience. They didn't just win, they restored belief. Since then, the Buckeyes had turned the horseshoe into a fortress. Over 100,000 fans fill it every Saturday, and the band still leads the march with a precision that borders on art. Few realize that the horseshoe almost didn't survive the modern era. In the late 1990s, engineers discovered structural weaknesses. Decades of vibrations from marching bands and fans had caused microfractures in the concrete. When the stadium was renovated in 2001, Every piece of the original architecture was preserved: arches, rotunda, even the old press box. Today, it's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, one of the few active stadiums in America to hold that honor. And here's another hidden gem. Buried under the rotunda is a time capsule from 1921. Inside, a student handbook, a campus newspaper, and a list of Ohio State's football scores. A message to the future from the fans who built it. Every game day begins with the same ritual: the march from the stadium to the field. It's called the ramp entrance. As the band takes the field in perfect formation, the stadium goes silent. Then, in unison, the crowd begins to sway. The horns rise, and the drums strike the first beat. It's not just music, it's choreography for the soul. And when Brutus Buckeye, the school's mascot since 1965, joins in, the crowd explodes with laughter and pride. He's part humor, part heritage, a walking reminder that even the grandest traditions should never forget the smile. For over a century, Ohio Stadium has been more than concrete and steel. It's been a stage for triumph, heartbreak, and unbreakable unity. It's where past and present meet under the same autumn sky. What makes the Horseshoe sacred isn't the victories. It's the people. The fans who show up in scarlet and gray every Saturday, rain or shine, because this isn't just their team. It's their family, their faith, their fall ritual. Tradition isn't something Ohio State keeps. It's something they become. Next week, the Gridiron Ghost travels east to a valley of noise and light, where 110,000 voices become one under a blanket of white. It's not snow, it's devotion. Join us as we uncover the power, pride, and pulse of the whiteout at Penn State, where the night itself wears team colors. The lights dim, the echoes fade, but the spirit remains. I, in the Gridiron Ghost, a witness to every chant, every cheer, every chapter of this game we love. You've been listening to Campus Chronicles, Beyond the Game, a JourneyWise Studios production, where the past still speaks and the stories never rest. Follow the echoes wherever you listen. And until next time, keep your spirit loud, your history close, and remember, the echoes never fade.